A foreclosure crisis is knocking on the door. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. A foreclosure crisis. Could it be, in fact, knocking on the door? Well, I don't know. What do you guys think? The biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in history couldn't sustain itself. We're seeing the reverse course. And the economic blowback is getting quite severe, isn't it? This is much bigger than real estate. This is much bigger than a housing bubble. A lot of you know that. I know a lot of you know I know that. But we continue to temperature check and heat map the U.S. housing market. Why, you ask? Because if we lose the U.S. housing market, we're going to lose everything. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Booms and busts in the markets. We just saw a huge boom in the crypto market. What did it do? Fell on its face. We just saw a huge boom in the stock market. What did it do? Exhibiting massive pain. We had a huge boom in the real estate market. What did it do? It reversed course. But because it behaves a little differently, takes a little longer for it to play out, the blowback might not happen in lightning speed like the other markets I just mentioned. Whew. Insanity, right? Insane. So the realities are, for me personally, like, we don't have to overthink this. I always say, throw the playbook out the window, and the data will not save you. This will come down to the psychology of people, the psychology of sales. And as a trained salesman, let me just tell you, this one plays out for me in a big way if I had to guess. And I'm not a betting man, but if I was, that's exactly where my money would go. Insane this stuff. But the realities are this, friends. Let's just boil this down to a very manageable, digestible piece of information. Every single time the real estate market has exhibited bubble behavior, they have in fact crashed. That is a fact. Anytime, we've never seen a bubble produced as fast as this one. We've never seen a bubble reach all-time highs as this one. That's two pretty alarming facts. But there's one more fact that's even more alarming. The rate of appreciation. 40% appreciation in your real estate? No. That is dangerous. But what did people do? They tried to normalize it. Of course we wanted it to be true. Of course we wanted that equity to remain in our home. We drank the housing Kool-Aid, the economic Kool-Aid. People went out and refinanced their house based on that newfound equity. And what did they do with those equity lines of credit? You guessed it. They dumped it into the markets. And what's happening to the markets as we speak? Poof. Evaporating. No safety net. They invest cash. Remember that one in the cash is trash. Pour it into the markets. Whew. Be fearful when others are greedy. Greedy when others are fearful. Warren Buffett, his coin phrase, got heavier in cash than he's ever been in his professional and financial lifetime during the bubble. He didn't go out and buy. He sold and got heavy in cash, and that's where he's currently at. A lot of other people did the same thing, but the majority of people drank the economic Kool-Aid. Wall Street, builders, investors, real estate companies, Zillow, Redfin, Opendoor, Realtor, they all tried to go out and create iBuyer platforms so you could sell your house as quick as clicking a button. And what happened there? You guessed it, massive trouble. Bankruptcies are just a brewing all over the place. So we're at the front end of a massive recession. And it becomes those three levels we always talk about. Correction, which is the correction phase, is that while you're heading into a recession, that's where we're at now. If we can't stop it, we're going to get into a recessionary level of a downturn like we saw in the '08 Great Recession. If we can't stop it there, we end up into a depressionary level of a downturn like we saw back in the great stock market crash of 1929, the Great Depression, which have, in fact, over the time, depressionary levels of downturns cycle approximately every 80 to 100 years throughout trackable history. We're in that cycle. So a lot of things to really pay attention to right now. But one of the biggest things you have to understand is right now, it's not a question of if there will be foreclosures. It's when and how many. And the reason is this, friends. We paused the foreclosure crisis as one of our stimulus measures, programs, and money that we implemented during the crisis to try to keep people at home, apparently. But we overheated the biggest asset class in the world, the U.S. housing market, which is capable of collapsing the U.S. economy as we did it. So we're in big trouble right now. This is a big, big, big one. A lot of people are going to lose homes because now we're starting to push forward with those foreclosure filings. A lot of people still have some equity left in those homes, but that is shifting as we speak on a minute-to-minute basis, where eventually it will not be able to sell for what they owe. The only option will be foreclosures. And when you're having a hard time keeping up with your other bills, it's really hard to operate efficiently when you're paralyzed with fear and panic. And fear and panic is sweeping these markets. I think we can all agree with that. A lot of us understand what's going on out there. So the first step of getting past the problem, always admit there's a problem. That was a really big problem when we overheated the U.S. housing market. We kicked the can too far down the road. We needed to stop this right away. We didn't. We were raising interest rates now when we should have done it within the first 6 months of the bubble being, showing bubble behavior. We didn't, whether it was on accident or on purpose. I don't know why. I mean, we figured it out here. Why couldn't these highly educated, smart people that are in charge of running this greatest country on the planet figure it out? I don't know. A lot of people think it's all planned. That's probably true. But the reality is, for a lot of us, we're going to capitalize. I always say we're going to come out smelling like a rose because we admitted there was a problem. That's the first step of the problem. We didn't go drink the Kool-Aid and do the same thing over and over expecting a different result. That's the definition of insanity. We understood what goes up must come down. We insulated ourselves to the best of our ability. We didn't bite on the cash as trash. We saved a lot of it. Sure, we spent probably a little differently than we would have, but I don't think any of us went out and got underneath staggering amounts of debt. If you did, please buckle up and strap in. You're going to take some lumps in this one, but you'll learn some really good lessons. I took them in the last Great Recession. Today I have a great life because of a lot of the things I've learned. I certainly don't want to go back and do it again, repeating the same mistake, over expecting a different result. That, like I said, is the definition of insanity. This time we played it a little bit differently. Listen, friends, if you halfway expected this thing, you're going to be able to operate within it much more efficiently as it plays out. And it's going to have a foreclosure crisis playing out. Mark my words. And final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble ever produced in world history couldn't sustain itself. It was built on a house of cards, a game of musical chairs. Quicksand was its foundation. It couldn't sustain itself. It isn't reversing course. We're going to have to continue to heat map, temperature check it. Real estate is local. A lot of areas are going to behave differently than others. A lot of areas overheated way too fast, and they're the ones that are showing the fall first. But contagion is a very big component in this bubble versus previous bubbles because of our digital diet today. Good news travels fast. Bad news travels even faster. And unfortunately, a lot of people are going to get swept up into that reverse FOMO, recess, even if they're financially fit, because it's going to be the thing to do. Even financially fit people recess in a recession because everybody else is. It's herd mentality. Stay centered and surrounded with like-minded people where iron will continue to sharpen iron. I promise we'll get out of this one. For a lot of us, we're going to get out of it very well. Others are just going to get by. Everybody will be on a different part of the scale on this one. It'll be my job to navigate us through it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. I'll personally be part of your transaction. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.